Flying is one of the most common forms of transportation in today's world. It allows us to travel across the world without having to worry about traffic jams or long drives. However, many people are nervous about flying because it can be quite frightening for some people. Even if you're not afraid to fly, it is so often stressful and tiring. So that's why we put together this list of the 16 best trips for a relaxed flight. We're going to go over some of the best ways to prepare before you fly, as well as some easy things that you can do during your flight to make sure that everything runs smoothly. TravelGoals brings you the best in travel destinations, travel tips, and accommodations around the world. Before we dive into today's video, please hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also tap on that bell icon to turn on notifications. Now, without further ado, let's fly right into the best tips of the day. Number 1. Choose the shortest flight route without stopovers. When you're planning your trip, you're going to have to consider the cost of your flight. The cheapest flights will often have long stopovers and lots of time wasted on boarding the plane. If it's at all possible, choose a route with no stops and a short duration. You're going to get to your destination sooner. And if you want to save money, avoid flights that make stopovers. Usually, they take longer and you're going to have to spend more on accommodations and food. If you want to get to your destination as quickly as you can, make sure you take the shortest flight route. Number 2. Choose your seat wisely. If you're tense about flying, then the worst thing you can do is book a window seat. You're going to be trapped with nowhere to go if your anxiety starts kicking in and you need to get up and move around. If it's possible, choose an aisle seat so that when you got the option or the need to get up and walk around, you can do it. And for tall people, an aisle seat is also a great solution. You can stretch your legs every now and then. Another advantage of an aisle seat is that you don't gotta climb over people to use the toilet. Are you willing to pay extra? Then the places near the emergency exit also have lots of leg room. Although you often have to help to open the emergency exit in event of an evacuation. It's also a bit more drafty here, but then you got one of the best seats in the plane, so. Number 3. Check the rules regarding your hand luggage. Airline rules and regulations can be pretty confusing. Check the rules and the restrictions of your airline before packing, so you can avoid any issues at the airport. Each airline has different guidelines, so it's important to double check what you can and cannot bring on board. For instance, liquids in containers over 100 milliliters, objects with a sharp point or an edge that could cause serious injury. A general rule for power banks in the plane is that you can take a maximum of 100 watts or 27,000 ampere hours in total power banks in your hand luggage. Some airlines have very strict rules regarding the amount of luggage that you can take with you. Make sure you know this airline's rules before you pack your bags, and try and pack only what you need. You should also avoid overpacking, because airlines are often going to charge extra for overweight bags, which can add up to hundreds of dollars in fees. So just make sure that you check the list of restricted items before you pack your bags. Number 4. Get the right travel documents. You should make sure that you have all of the travel documents you're going to need before you leave. You're going to need your passport, your visa, and maybe COVID-19 travel documents, especially when you're traveling internationally and to a country with a COVID-19 ban. If you don't have these things, then the airline might not let you board your flight. And also make sure that you have a copy of your itinerary and confirmation for your hotel reservation. Make sure you have all the required documents in advance of your trip so that you don't run into any problems at the airport. People can often forget to check the expiration date on their passports before traveling, assuming that as long as it's in date, then they'll be fine. However, a lot of countries still need a certain amount of time on a passport before they'll allow you in. All countries are going to have their own rules concerning passport validity and expiration rules, so make sure you check this. This simple tip can really save your vacation from getting ruined before it even starts. Number 5. Check your flight times, again, the day before departure and even on the day of departure. We've all heard horror stories about people who were supposed to be at the airport by 7:30 a.m. but instead showed up at 8, only to discover that their flight had left without them. You must know exactly when and where you need to be at an airport before you start your trip. Airlines constantly change schedules and your flight time might have just changed. Checking in advance is going to help avoid any stressful surprises at the airport. Number 6. Wear the right clothes and skip contact lenses. Wear comfortable clothes and bring an extra layer. It actually can get pretty cold on a plane, even with the blanket that they give you. Contact lenses tend to dry out more than glasses, so you might want to wear the latter on longer flights. If you have sensitive skin, then it's a good idea to apply some lotion mid-flight. It's going to prevent your hands from getting all dry and flaky. Number 7. Always take an extra power bank with you. No matter how long or short a flight is, it's always a good idea to have your devices fully charged. I mean, a power bank's gonna come in handy in case you need to charge your phone for an emergency, or if you want to watch something on a tablet during the last few hours of a long-haul flight. Remember the rules regarding a power bank in a plane. Number 8. Make sure your luggage is recognizable. With so many black suitcases on the conveyor belt, it's easy for your bag to get lost. To avoid this, make sure your suitcase is easily recognizable. You can do this with a colorful, eye-catching travel sticker. Oh, we love stickers. Another way to make your luggage recognizable is by attaching a piece of different colored tape or a ribbon to the handle. This is going to make it so much easier for you to find it, and it's going to help prevent someone from accidentally grabbing yours. Number 9. Get to the airport on time. It's probably going to seem like a no-brainer, but it's important to factor in time for things like security lanes and traffic. Give yourself plenty of time so that you don't have to rush and get stressed when you're right about to try to catch your flight. Also, try to avoid flying during peak times, again, only if you can help it. Early morning and red-eye flights tend to be the least crowded, so there's a lower chance of delays. Now, the following tips will be very helpful if you find flying pretty scary. Number 10. Rely on safety. If you suffer from a fear of flying and are afraid that the plane's going to crash, rely on the fact that air travel is one of the safest forms of transportation, especially compared to driving a car. Airplanes are constantly being updated with new technology and safety features to make them more secure. In addition, an aircraft's not going to be permitted to fly unless it's thoroughly inspected and deemed safe by a trained aviation professional. Delays might occur, but at least you can be sure that your flight is 100% safe before you board. Number 11. Don't be afraid of turbulence. Turbulence, it's going to scare you, but it's not dangerous. In fact, pilots and flight attendants often sleep through turbulence because they know that the plane is designed to withstand even the worst bumps in the sky. Turbulence is just the airplane hitting pockets of air. It's uncomfortable, but again, it's not dangerous. The pilots are trained to deal with turbulence and make sure that you're safe. Number 12. Know the technique of an airplane. A lack of knowledge about an aircraft is a big reason for a fear of flying, and brushing up on that knowledge often helps to reduce the fear. It's a great idea to learn about the basic principles of flying, as well as what just basically makes an airplane fly. The more familiar you are with an airplane, the easier it's going to be for you to feel safe when you're flying. Number 13. Watch what you eat and drink. Another reason that people tend to feel anxious on planes is because of what they eat and they drink. It's best to avoid alcohol and caffeine before flying, as they tend to make you feel jittery. Drink plenty of water and eat light meals so that you don't feel uncomfortable during the flight. Number 14. Be aware of your breathing. Being aware of your breathing can be so helpful when controlling and dispelling fears. When you're scared, your breathing tends to become shallow and rapid, which can lead to hyperventilation. That can make you feel dizzy and panicky. So just try taking some deep breaths in through your nose and exhaling slowly through your mouth. If you focus on taking deep breaths, and even nice slow breaths at that, it's going to help you keep calm and relaxed. This is also a great way to fall asleep on a plane if you're feeling anxious. Number 15. Visualize your holiday destination. Visualize your holiday destination. An important part of controlling your flying anxiety is being able to picture yourself at your destination, enjoying the new experiences that you've planned and are going to encounter. Try to remember past holidays where you've had a great time, and just focus on those memories and the positive moments. And if you're on a long-haul flight, use that time to mentally prepare for when you arrive by thinking about everything you're gonna see and do. If you can take your mind off of the flight and focus on something else, then that can help ease your fears. Visualize every detail, from the feel of the sun on your skin to the smell of the ocean breeze. Number 16. Provide distraction. If you find that your mind is racing with thoughts of the flight, just try and distract yourself. You can do this by starting up a conversation with somebody next to you, or picking up a book or a magazine and reading it through. You might even try listening to music or watching a movie. Providing a distraction is one of the best ways to ease your mind and just get rid of anxiety. And there you have it. Flying can be a stressful experience, but taking these tips into account can make it so much more relaxing. What are your thoughts on these flight tips and hacks? Do share them with us in the comment section below. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon if you did want more videos like this. We'll see you in the next one, and have a nice flight. Don't cringe.